Welcome to my channel, baby. Sip sensibility. Welcome to my channel, baby. Sip sensibility.
Hey, this is Sensibility Speaks. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all, let's talk about this most recent episode of Ready to Love Dallas Child. And so this is the Pajama Jammy Jam edition. And so I'm going to cut right to the chase. I want to talk about LaRon and Koshia and how they had their little blow up, right? And also I'm going to touch on Will and how he wants to go to war with the ladies' child. Oh, my. And so I'm going to cut right to it. LaRon feels some type of way about Koshia, as he puts it, okay, my words, grinning and skinning in a guy's face. But isn't that what she's supposed to do? She's supposed to mix, mingle, interact, because guess what? If she were just to cleave on to you the whole time, the brothers would want to vote her off because they'll say she's not engaging, she's not interacting, we don't really know her, blah, blah, blah. Well, honey, at the mix and mingle for the Pajama Jam Child happy hour time, well, she's getting her flirt on, honey, because I think LaRon thinks that she's grinning and skinning in too many folk face. So we're going to start with Justin. So she goes up to him with a drink, child. She says, "Can I just tell you what I told all the ladies about you? And just how cute you were." And he's just like, "Oh, tell me about it, child." She was just, "I just need to feed him a little bit, put a little bit more weight on you." I'm like, "Child, he weighs 170. I guess she likes a thicker guy, right?" So she wants somebody like a teddy bear, 210 or whatever. So anyway, they got their little interaction. They look kind of cute together, actually. Now, the whole time she talking to him, old boy over in the corner off to the side, I thought he was talking to Rashina. I guess they just both staying in the same little area. He's checking it out. He ain't missing Ish. And so pretty much LaRon feels like that he had great chemistry and great energy with Koshia from the very beginning. He reminisces and he talks about how they talk on the phone for hours, yada, yada, yada. So meanwhile, she continues to flirt and she's doing what she's supposed to do. She's mixing and mingling. So she goes over to Chad. She touches on him. I can't make out what she said to him, child. But anyway, but they over by the food and she offered to make somebody a plate. Now, I believe she was making Justin a plate, or was it Chaz? Y'all can drop that in the comments and tell me what y'all think. But either way, old boy checking that out, child, he's like, ugh. He is in his feelings about that Ish. I guess he's mad because she ain't make his ass a plate, okay? But he does feel like the energy between them changing, and we're going to get to that. But I mean, damn, I don't know why he upset, because don't Tommy always be telling them you need to be intentional with your connections and let your guard down and all this and all that. She just doing what she's supposed to do, okay? But meanwhile, as the night ensues of the mix and mingle, I do see LaRon hugging over Sheena. He tells her, "Well, don't like nobody too much more than me now." So old girl talking about Koshia, she peeks that. At least they edited it to look that way, okay? All right, but I'm going to get back to them in a minute. So let's talk about Will really quickly. Now, he's making his rounds with the ladies, and he sits down with Rashina, and she's like, "Everything okay?" I guess trying to vibe and talk to him. He like, "I don't know. I got some ops. They say I sleep on the floor." I'm like, "Child, while everybody is eating, drinking, mixing, mingling, having a good time, your ass is on 10, about to blow your gasket. You so upset, smoldering on the inside." Because you're trying to figure out who said that, child. I tell you, these new generation of men are emotional as hell. I'm just like, if you don't man up and get over it and said, and if you do sleep on the floor, Mr. Millionaire, that's your business. I don't think he does or whatever. But whatever the case may be, I don't think it warrants him having an attitude. So in his mind, he says, well, whoever has the attitude or whoever doesn't have a reaction when I ask them, because he's going around to all the ladies, because he's going to figure out, he's going to find Waldo. He like, "Who said that Ish?" I'm like, "What you going to do? You going to beat her up when you figure out who told the mold?" Talking about Alexis with her chatting ass, telling what's going on in the ladies' lounge. So he narrowed it down to Patrice. So they're off talking, having their little cocktail. And he's like, "At what point did you figure I slept on the floor?" And so she thinks back to their phone conversation and she's like, "Shit, I won't clear if you step on the floor or not. You got your pillow, your damn blanket. I don't know." Okay. So anywho, it just wasn't that deep, but I'm just like, ugh. Again, these manosphere, Kevin Samuels type dudes or whatever, they like to combat and war with women. I just don't get it. I just don't get it, child. They just don't make them like they used to. But I'm not even gonna hold you. Alexa seems like a pick-me, child, because remember how she went at it with Koshia.
Because if she wanted, she can get it, Tommy.
Right now, Koshia did go from 0 to 10. She did put 20 on 10 with her reaction. She was just like, you gonna keep running your mouth? I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna beat your ass. Whatever she said to her. And the old girl was like, child, she was like, is that where we going? Child, I ain't having it. Anyway, saying all that to say, he's a walking red flag in my book. So Miss Alexis really needs to watch it herself. I'm just saying, because yeah, he's vindictive. So anyway, he figured out who it was. So let's continue. But anyway, homeboy is hell-bent to make sure he says on the camera, I'm a multi-millionaire. I ain't got to sleep on the floor. Child, who are you trying to convince? Us, the viewers, or yourself? Anyway, let's continue, child. So let's get to the calm before the storm, child. So Koshia continues to work the room. So now she's sitting down with Jonathan and they talk about what his favorite color is or what hers is. They both agree that their favorite colors are black. He's looking at her nails. Anyway, they just grin and skin in a little light or whatever, child. But let's get to the good part. But anyway, here comes LaRon. And so he dapping it up with old boy Jonathan, some bottle boys in the building or whatever. I think that's what they said. Now, I noticed that Jonathan is an Omega Psi Phi. I think that's what the brand was. I didn't see the whole thing. It was kind of cut off. So I don't know if they frat brothers or they party boys or they just know each other. Or maybe they just dapping it up because they made a bromance or whatever being on the show. But anyway, Jonathan, after they do their little bromance child dapping it up, he's like, what can I do for you? And so basically, if you don't mind, I want to get a little one-on-one time with Koshia. He was like, yeah. And of course, Jonathan seems to be into Alexis, as we going to kind of talk about. We're going to touch on that too. Why not? But LaRon is mean because as they kind of walk off to go into the house, she tries to go arm in arm with him. He like, get off me. And in the confessional, they flash over. I really feel like Koshia's playing me. I'm like, dude, you be grinning and skinning at people's face too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Koshia is what, 35, 36, has what, 2 kids or whatever. And he's single with no kids. So I'm just like, I don't know if that's a good match, but that's just me. But it's crazy how he's being kind of punitive. And production is shady as hell. Honey, production is showing her flitting from man to man. She just doing her thing. She just mixing, just trying to zhuzh it up with the guys. That's all. She ain't trying to get sent home. And dude is like, well, if she doing that with all them, then what is she doing to me? I'm like, child, y'all on a dating show. You got to mix and mingle. You know how this goes. Now, as they're sitting at the table and they're airing their grievances, he said that he reached out to her and she was acting kind of vague and mysterious on the text. So I guess he can feel the shift in the energy and he's trying to see where it's coming from. So he's like, let's nip this in the bud. And basically, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me, in other words, right? And so she tries to grab his hand. He was like, nope, don't touch me. I don't want to touch you. I'm like, damn, he's punitive too, kind of vindictive, right? And so she was like, you've been acting up. So what does she mean by that? And I'm thinking in my mind, she's probably viewing how he moves, grinning and skinning in people's faces. We're going to get to it in a second. So basically, in a nutshell, she's telling him that my feelings or how I feel about you in this process hadn't changed, but I can't harbor you for myself. And he was like, oh, but you can though. Now, again, for her to say you've been acting up, again, she's seeing how he moves. Now, he's like, is she trying to play me? So he's a player in my mind because everybody's calling him a party boy. Even when he went on a date with Vanessa, when they went on a little, kayak or whatever the hell they were doing, she said that their lifestyles aren't conducive, basically, because I think she has a child as well. And he says that he goes out Wednesday through Sunday, as he's about to tell Maya, as she jokes with him, child. So anyway, back to Koshia, when she says that we have to go through the process and I just can't lock you in. And so basically he's saying, oh, but you can know, right? But anywho, it's like, if that's the case, then we just may as well leave if we're not going to go through the process, right? Now, one thing I noticed, now here come Maya come prancing over there. And you know how you had that kind of grimace on your face, kind of like you straining your eyes. And she was like, I got a bone to pick with you, Lamar. You call me greedy though. And then he was like, what you trying to call me fat? He said, I ain't say that, but I might have said you had a fatty. I'm like, oh, Lord. Now I'm like, how you going to talk ish and telling her that she's doing too much? and she's telling you don't act a fool, and then you're going to proceed to act a fool in front of her, and then going to jump up. So she was like, oh, you making her giggle too? Because she's and all this, right? So he goes running over there to her, telling me, I ain't no party boy. I ain't no party boy. Child. Okay, so I guess it's kind of sending mixed messages, because when he went out with Maya, he pretty much told her that they could be like a power couple. She was like, we can be like Barack and Michelle or whatever. One of them said that. I think she said that in her confessional, but I think she's kind of feeling him too. And the other guy, William, okay, the one with the hips or whatever, child. But anyway, yeah, they doing too much. But anyway, baby girl is just hollering, LeBron's a party boy. If I call him Lamar, y'all, my bad, because he got voted off, child. How can I mix him up? She was like, well, LeBron's a party boy. LeBron's a party boy. Wednesday through Sunday. He was like, don't say that. Don't say that. No, I'm not. Child, he just hugging all up on her, trying to get her to stop. Now, some people can say that's aggressive, but it's all in the energy and the intent. So, it ain't no biggie. But anyway, old girl was just like, you know what? And so Kashia, you can see she's over it, okay? But to Kashia's point, she was like, he's not serious about me, because if you can be that easily distracted by somebody who calls you a party boy, but yet you said that you would go to the ends of the earth for me, nah, So anyway, she can see the contradiction and she's over it. And Jonathan is at the table. He kind of peeks over just to kind of see her countenance, and he sees that she's over. But basically, she's saying she's arguing with the child, and is. And so anyway, Kashia goes on to tell him, look, what just happened didn't need to happen. He's like, I don't want to upset you. She's like, you just did. And he was like, she's assassinating my character. I think he was getting some get back, because, again, he feels Maya too. Let's be clear about that. That's one. And then two, he's trying to get some get back because he felt like you, old girl, was grinning in people's face. Oh, but things kind of go in a different direction, because she gets hella emotional. She's just like, you know what? I will just sit here and I will just let you chastise me, and I will just sulk here in my misunderstanding. So she totally acquiesced, and she's just kind of like retreating and just kind of shriveling up. I'm just like, girl. And he's just like, what are you talking about? And he's so dismissive of her feelings. And I like the fact that Chaz is asking her, is she okay? And Chaz, being in his late 40s, he's more mature. And LaRon, he's 31, a 16-year age gap. It was like, man, dude, let me talk to you man to man. They're outside. That wasn't cool. You see, she's visibly upset. And any woman who is that emotional over you, there's obviously a connection, and you didn't even see about her being upset. Again, he's vindictive and kind of punitive. And I don't know if it's these new generation of men, child, but he's just like, nope, forget about it. And even Justin comes out to see what's going on. But anyway, he was like, well, she wants to talk to me. She know how to find me. She know how to find me. I'm like, damn, okay. I'm just like, hella emotional. But in the confessional, he did say that he could have reacted to that differently, and he did receive the feedback that Chaz gave him. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But anyway, some people may think that Kashia is quick to curse a woman out, but here she is with her love interest or whatever, and he's coming at her, not saying that you got to be combative going back word for word, but you didn't have to acquiesce and shrink like a violet for the Bama either. I'm just saying. No. Well, anyway, moving right along. Y'all drop that in the comments and y'all tell me what y'all think about that. But let's get to Miss Alexis and Jonathan, child. Let's get to that, okay? And Mr. Will. All right, so the night ensues, and now everybody's in the house, and it's time for game time, okay? And so Dominique proposes truth or sexy. And his thing is, this gives everyone the opportunity to see who's feeling who's vibing with who, and you can learn a lot, which we did, okay? All right, so it starts out with Chaz. So he asked Patrice who she felt like was the most sexiest. And of course, she said him, okay? And in the confessional, girlfriend was like, and I would think some of the men would agree too. Bloop. All right. And then Mika challenges Maya to truth or sexy. And she said, honey, you like to throw that thing in a circle. Let me see you do it, right? She said, but do it with your least connected person, not the person that you have the strongest connection to. So, child, she sashayed herself over to Justin. Okay, she all up in Alexis' face. She like, girl. Honey, girlfriend did a little twerk session for Justin. I think she playing in our face. I think she really liked Justin, child. That's just me, okay? Because Will thought he was going to get him a little lap dance, a little twerk session. Nope, not today. But anyway, that's her least connections. So at some point, and I don't know if I'm going in order, Dominique says to Koshia, I heard you got a thing for LaRon and Don or some shit like that. And she was like, well, he is my top connection, right? And he go grinning, but he was like, well, I don't really know if she mean it because I don't know if she like me like that. I'm like, child, if you don't stop whining. Anywho. So then Maya went on to challenge Will to kiss the foot of the person that you're most connected with. And so, of course, we know that he likes Alexis. Child, how about old creepy ass Jonathan? Like, I'll trade places with you, bro. I'm like, you know what? Somebody has a foot fetish, do they not? Right? And so he goes on to kind of lift up her robe or whatever like that, her PJs, and he kind of kisses her shin or kisses his hand, slaps it on her feet. Whatever, child. He did something. And child, Jonathan was just like, I could have did better than that. Oh, we know you would have been sucking toes on TV, brother. We know you would have done that. Who, child, honey, but then the challenge goes over to him, right? And so him being Mr. Mysterious and trying to break out of his bubble and his shell, so he was challenged to do something with his most connected person. Why did he lift up poor Alexis, child? If you could just see the countenance and the look on everybody's face, like, oh my God, no, he didn't. It was a lot. She's mortified. She's startled. She's embarrassed. And everybody's in shock. The brothers are like, ooh, time out, time out. We doing team too much, child. Honey, his ass was about a grab away and a few seconds away from them calling damn HR on his ass, okay? Y'all see how Tommy came running his ass up out there. Production was like, oh no, we ain't having that ish this time. But anyway, they stopped it just in time. I think Justin or someone asked her, is she okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm all right. I think she was embarrassed. And that was embarrassing. That was a lot. I think, yeah, that was awkward. And she said that in a confessional. Anyway, what y'all think of this episode? So, but I will say this. I don't like the fact that they're putting Koshia and Mika up for elimination. They're in the hot seat. But it seems like the ratio is 7-7 or 7-8, and it might be a little bit more guys because the one young lady, Leyland or whatever, she went home, so it's not balanced. So I think it may be a warning, shots fired, but I don't think they're going home. That's just my take on it. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. It's funny because I read in one of the social media groups that someone made a post saying that Mika needs to go home. She's wasting people's time. I'm like, just because she don't want to have no more damn kids, that's her prerogative. Now, she did say if the right man came along and if the stars aligned, who knows? But by and large, she didn't want to have any more. She has an 18-year-old and I believe a 6-year-old, if I'm not mistaken. Honey, if she's two and done, that's on her, right? And saying, well, she shouldn't have joined the show because these men want kids. I'm like, how the hell would she know when she joined casting who wanted what? That's production and casting. That's their job to put people on the show based upon the other cast members and what they want or whatever. Child, anywho, I'm like, child, if y'all don't sit y'all male identified asses down. But anyway, y'all drop down in the comments and y'all tell me what you think. This is Sensibility Speaks. Thanks for stopping by. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.
My regular, I'm talking